President Obama is praising retired General David Petraeus for his lifetime of military service, but Mr. Obama may be shaken by Petraeus' sudden resignation. After just 15 months heading the Central Intelligence Agency, and by the reason he quit, he admits cheating on his wife. CBS News senior correspondent and former FBI official John Miller is here with more on Petraeus, the FBI investigation, and the potential fallout. John, good morning.
Good morning.
This is something that the FBI was looking at his emails but didn't expect to find.
Well, they weren't even looking at his emails. They were looking at something else, and they kind of stumbled into what appeared to be communications between the director of the CIA and Paul Broadwell, and there were things about those communications that were suspicious. Now, there's a little here we don't know. So what would those things have been? Were they leaving draft messages without sending them in a common email account so that they could go read them and fly under the radar? Were they using language that was so cryptic as to raise those questions? Were they using other people's email accounts to email about? Whatever it was, it rose to the level that people in the FBI said, we're going to have to determine what this is about.
Mm-hmm. So it's not the FBI making a habit of monitoring the director of the CIA?
No, not at all. It is not that. And this is one of those things where everybody looked at it, scratched their head and said, well, I don't know what this is, but whatever it is, we're going to have to figure out what it means. So they did a lot of investigation to run all the regular traps. And at some point, when nothing had really panned out into being clear, they said, well, we're going to have to interview Director Petraeus and ask him flat out, what is this about?
Mm-hmm. We've seen other politicians survive affairs. Why in this case is he stepping down?
You know, that's an interesting question, because in the post-Bill Clinton Washington milieu, a extramarital affair is not necessarily a career kill shot today. But I think there's a combination of factors here. Number one, Petraeus is a very disciplined man who believes in going by the rules. Number two, this is something I learned in the culture of the intelligence community when I worked there, which is if you are having an extramarital relationship, if you are involved with a foreign national, if there's something else going on in your life, what the security people at the CIA will say is, we may not tell your husband, we may not tell your wife, but you have to tell us. We need to know that if something's going on. And I think there was probably a calculus on the part of the director's, math here to say, this will come out somehow, some way, sometime, not a time under my control. And I've got thousands of employees who I hold to one standard, and when it does come out, they're going to say, why isn't this the standard the boss was held to?
Does this effectively end that investigation?
Oh, yeah. And Anthony, that's a very important question, because the question is, well, what did he do wrong? No major security violations, except the failure to report this relationship. No criminal violations whatsoever, no classified material, no breach of CIA equipment. So none of that was there. I mean, this is an overblown personnel issue, but because of the level it happened at, that's what pushes it over the top.
John Miller, thank you.